All right.
It needs a...
What is it?
This is my mask.
That's awesome.
This is my
You
mask.
gotta figure out a way where you can actually wear it. Or hold, like with Michael's,
Oh, mine's
he's got a good
fine.
example of like wearing it like this.
Oh, that's
Hello, I'm a giant panda. Who's got some bamboo?
I
Give
tried
it
to
up.
make the white underneath with like a pencil.
That's really
but it doesn't
awesome.
really
Can I
show.
show, let me just show it to the video. Look at that. Look at that one.
Kind of looks like a piranha.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a piranha, but hey, no, this is a great white shark. The fin, it's very, this is really cool. This is all about creative expression because when we do this creative stuff, whether it's just coloring or we do the whole 3D mask thing, there is, I'm hoping that there's this other engagement in the brain that helps you remember and kind of sink in the animals' kind of facts. So just email me or share with me the work you've done on it. And then what I want to do in class today is spend a little bit of time just clarifying any questions you have with that. And then we should prep for our test, right?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so what are some immediate questions with that are left over from this assignment? Because we're going to build off of it after our test.
Well, I just have like my species doesn't really have like a mating style. Like it doesn't
A
have
courtship thing that they
Yeah,
do?
like the only thing I can really find is that like the male bites the female by its dorsal
Yeah, they
fin.
don't
That's
know
pretty
anything
good.
about-
That's
That's
really
pretty
it.
good.
There's no like really courtship or like.
Right. And that's, that's not that surprising for a lot of these ocean creatures that we don't get to witness stuff.
Yeah, they
If
just have-
animals are nocturnal or occupy habitats and niches where humans aren't able to access it, we've missed that. And so that's something to discover
Yeah.
if that exists.
They don't know a thing about orcas at all.
Yeah, they don't
About
know
the
much
mating courtship
Not
stuff.
like-
And that's
You need-
really interesting because
Yeah.
orcas we know have a very elaborate communication
Yeah.
system. They can be singing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, the
You
only
know, we
thing I
don't
know
know.
about their breeding is from like the SeaWorld like breeding program,
Right,
which is like in tanks and stuff. So it's not.
Right. right. So that's a restricted habitat. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And the other thing with sharks and other fish is they have a whole electrical system that they use to communicate with
Yeah.
too. And so who knows how that may be wrapped up into courtship, if at all. So what's wonderful is we look into these animals that seem to be very common or known to us, like great white. I mean, who hasn't watched Shark Week? There's still all these questions in science left. And so there's a lot of work to be done as a career. That's really great opportunity for any of you and all of them. So, Nadia, did you have another specific question? You said you
I
felt like you had a
did
couple gaps.
somewhere.
So let's attend to those and then we're gonna move into review.
What do you mean by do you practice recruitment for your offspring?
All right, does anybody remember what recruitment is? Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead, Kristen.
Kind of like nurturing them and like, instead of just like
Who's
having
nurturing?
the
who?
parent nurturing the offspring.
Oh yeah.
Parents
I didn't-
nurture offspring for a year or more. So I don't know if sharks do that
I don't
or
think
by
they do.
species.
Does it have to be
No.
years?
No, not necessarily, because some things mature a lot quicker. So like the tigers, how long do they practice recruitment?
Yeah.
How long?
Like 18 months.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
What about the primary natural density dependent limiting factors?
Okay,
That's like.
but we haven't talked about density dependent or independent, have we? No, we didn't. No, was it this class?
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Does anybody know what a limiting factor is? I can go to the
Yeah.
notes. What is it?
Like limits like the amount of like numbers of a population that could be.
Yeah, so some event or thing that limits the population from growing or reduces them. And so when we say if it's density dependent or density independent, we're referring to the amount of that of species in an area. If there's more population there, then those factors become more prevalent. So what would be a density dependent limiting factor? In other words, a factor that comes up with more of them.
Disease.
Say again?
Famine and disease.
Famine and disease. Why would famine be something that's dependent upon a population?
If they eat, like there are too many of them, they eat too much, the
Right.
food becomes a mess.
Right, this is a carrying capacity thing, right? So as you have more of the more in your population, that population may take from the food supply, and then members of the population will suffer and starve and be limited and therefore be selected out or die, right?
Yeah.
Now, disease, that isn't always population density dependent. Because a disease can move through a population no matter what size you are, but its rate might be affected. It might move through a population faster the more times you have contact. So that was kind of a funny one. What would be another density dependent limiting factor besides food, therefore leading to famine? Say what?
Predator and prey.
Predator and prey, that's the same idea, right? More predators, they all compete. Oh, compete, they're competing over
Yeah.
prey. So competition is one.
Habitat, like in my case, the deforestation of eco-industries also kind of through all that.
Yeah, so that's food. But if somebody was to come in and cut down all the trees, or a forest fire was to go through, that's not density dependent, that's density independent. Because no matter what happens, if a fire comes through and burns down the habitat, it'll affect all and none, right? It doesn't matter how many are there. If there's only 3 koalas there, and they wipe out their forest, those 3 koalas are out of luck. Whereas if there was 3,000 koalas and they all ate it, that'd be density dependent, right? Because it'd be the koalas population that limited it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Is this helping?
Yeah.
Okay. So natural disasters are density independent. A tsunami, an earthquake, a volcano, all those things would wipe out your population no matter if they were 7 or 70 million. Sound good? We'll return to that eventually. Let's talk test unless there's another. Is there another question from this worksheet?
If we, like, did it on a hard copy, can you send
I want
to
it. I want it.
you? You want
How
it?
can we get it? Say what? Do you have any hard copies you want to give me? The mask you just hang on to. I can save them in a little area here if you don't want to carry them around.
Carry it around.
Yeah, here. You could. Do you want me to take your masks and save them for our big species date night?
Alice,
Yes.
I had a question about the survivorship curve, like,
Yeah, what about it? Yeah.
what, is it talking about how the species lives, like, I don't know, my penguins, like, not my penguins.
Yeah.
They lay 2 eggs and they usually only like guard 1, but I
Right.
don't know much about the survivorship curve after that.
Well, that's okay. Let's look at curves again. So let me go to that slide 51, 52, 51. All right. So here's it by definition. It's about death rate, right? So most penguins, if they're laying 2 eggs and one of them only survives, that's a 50% death rate at a young age, right? It's pretty high. But as they reach adulthood, what are their possible threats to their death? Or what are some things that could take them out of there?
Commercials, overfishing, invasive species, pollution.
Yeah, so there's all these other ones.
Yeah,
So golly, what are you gonna put down?
type 2.
Yeah, it's type 2 for sure. Yes, do you have your name on each one?
Oh.
Each paper? Just do that for me. I need to get a stapler to live in here. You want me to take your mask?
I put my name
I think I'm gonna, no, there's no other snake.
Snake. There's no
You're representing, man. All right.
Alright, here you go.
Okay, and you want me to take your mask as well?
Yes, please.
All right. I need to get a stapler in here. I'm sorry I don't have one in here already. So I've got, the mask is gonna go in that little metal cubby there. See? All right, we'll take the other 2. All right, so, while you're out, can you close that door, please? Excellent work. Thank you for your efforts. Those of you who shared your stuff with me, thank you. I'll be looking at them. We'll be talking about it more and more. And so, if we're gonna prepare for our test, we need to go back. So let's do a little activity. Let's have a little fun. What's the test on?
Chapter 1, chapter 6.
Chapter 1, chapter 6. Yeah, like what? Overview of environmental science, that chapter. And then we have a chapter on ethics. This is what I want to do. I want you to do, how many we have? 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, okay, we have 10 people in here. Let's divide up into pairs. And what I want you to do is I want you to create questions. We're gonna play a little game. I've got these little fun answer buzzers. I'm gonna go get my M&Ms and let's put a game on. Let's have a fun review, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pair up and you're gonna come up with 5 questions. 5 questions. They can be open-ended questions. I don't want you to like create a bunch of multiple choice of open-ended questions. Things that you think the test is going to be on, and then things that you feel like you're rusty on. And then I'll review them, I'll select out a bunch of repeats, and we'll see what count we have. But that way, it serves as review and some fun, okay?
Is the test multiple choice?
The test is multiple choice, there'll be 1 open-ended question. Okay?
How long do you expect?
It should be in between 30 and 45 questions. Each question is timed to be 30 seconds, but probably a minute for double timers. So it should take you 50 minutes to finish.
But how long should our open-ended question be, you think? Is that like an essay, or is that just like?
No, let's make them short, like 1-word answers. Let's practice like,
No, like for the test.
pardon?
The open-ended question for the test, is that like an essay, or is that like?
Oh, no, it's not like an essay. It's like a 2-sentence answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That help? It's easy.
Okay.
Well, as far as like length and stuff. I feel like from what how I've encountered you all that you all know it. But you may not know, well, it's good to review. We'll review. Okay? So take a moment. So this should take about 10 minutes total. So take a moment with a partner, like find somebody you can work with. Take a look through the chapters and find out what you're worried about. I'm gonna go get M&Ms and we'll figure this out, okay? Remembering that a lot of this stuff is on topic speed.
Oh, wait. Are we working together? Dude, I don't know words. Let's look at that. Oh, wait, Alan, are we gonna have our quizzes study projects?
I returned those, except for yours.
Wait.
I'll go get it.
I'm gonna have mine then.
Yeah.
What are they to show?
Give it back. Leave it in.
I didn't go Bro, we just gotta make up like 5 questions.
Alright,
Oh,
hold
would you?
on. Alright, you can write, I can write.
Yeah.
Bro, we should be
It doesn't matter, I don't care.
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
alright.
just open to a random page.
Oh, she was a textbook
Alright.
too.
Just give me 5 questions. We got 2 quizzes. That's all we have. It's like awesome media, like those 2 quizzes.
We said something like 30 to 45 questions. Like, I don't know, like, we only had like 10 questions on both these things. I don't know how you can work out. Wait, how many questions did you say?
We didn't do
But,
preservationism, right?
No, but like, how many questions like on the test?
30 to 45.
oh, it's not too bad. Alright, so I need to find chapter 2.
We can leave chapter 2.
Is it chapter 1, chapter 2?
No, it's chapter 1, chapter 6.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the ethics thing.
Oh, I found a study guide for chapter 1.
You can with me?
Yeah, I mean, it's on this thing. It's like on the topics page.
Oh, on my progress?
Yeah. Kind of shitty, but has
Okay,
stuff on it. Something to look at, I don't even know.
Remember those
I haven't even
quizzes that,
opened my book yet.
remember like enrolled in that AP course and he had we had like those 5-question quizzes?
Yeah.
Who's Kyle's?
No, in
Whatever it's called? Human
no, in Alan's class. And we had like those 5-question quizzes. No.
order.
Is that not on college board though? Yeah, it's on college.
So it's on chapter 1 and chapter 6.
Oh, one thing that, I gotta mention is let's write these down physically.
Should we put that?
So if you need some paper to write down your questions on.
What chapter are we looking at?
Chapters 1 and 6.
Chapters 1 and 6. Okay.
So it's right here, if you go back.
Which one's chapter 6?
So this one and that one.
Oh, okay.
Alan, should we be writing the answers?
Oh, alright, that's not too bad.
Yeah, let's do this, yeah. Good question. Vienna asked a great question about the answers. So, what I was envisioning is you'd write a question down, I'd rip the question off your piece of paper, backside of the paper has your answer. That makes sense? We have little things, and what I'm gonna do is I'll put my camera on my iPad, I'll display the question up on the screen. You can ask whoever wins it, M&Ms. Okay?
Be like, give an example of environmental or.
We'll do head-to-head stuff. It's called hot seat.
Intergenerational equity.
We got real buzzers?
Yeah, I got real buzzers.
And then intragenerational equity.
I'm gonna set up the buzzing area here.
Two right there.
Collecting this? Wait, you're collecting this?
Well, I'm gonna rip the pages and I'm gonna select them at random, and we're gonna have people go head to
Be
head.
like,
So, a collection of questions.
if,
I'll have a pool of questions. I'll ask team members to come up. You can go head to head. I'll pull out a question, and we'll show it on the screen. You buzz in if you got the answer. If you get it right, you get M&Ms. If you get it wrong, the other team gets M&Ms. The other person will then try to guess, and they'll get double M&Ms. Who knows? Creating the game table right now.
Environmental justice is
What about
everything cheated. What's the term again?
What is an
Environmental
example of-
injustice. Environmental injustice, right?
Are we going to know HIPPO?
I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah.
What about like? What is
Do you want HIPPO to be on the test?
Exhaustible renewable natural resources.
It's kind of one that's bridging all the
What is an
topics.
example?
It's related to Easter Island.
Yeah.
Exhaust.
Which one? Yeah, so it's,
Exhaust. Exhaustible renewable.
Yeah.
Something.
one of these doesn't sound good.
What's the difference between renewable resource and exhaustible? Yeah.
If it's
Yeah,
exhaustible,
more
it
open-ended.
can like, yeah, come out. And like, if it's renewable, it doesn't come out.
If you ask about preservation versus conservation,
Oh, yeah.
that'd be good,
Or
'cause
like,
there's what there's not.
yeah, like if you believe that,
Yeah, it's like,
if you believe that nature should be left untouched, like,
would you be a conservation?
yeah.
Preservation.
And one of the questions
You
is
say like,
open-ended, right?
if.
What would be, yeah, so what do you have for a question?
That
What do you have with it?
the
So like,
woods were beautiful.
we want them to be,
and useful,
no, let's have them so they can be answered,
for,
like,
Is it?
like, let's say ecocentric.
Yeah.
So like, what is ecocentric?
Right, or you could do,
It'd be like the beginning.
write the definition of ecocentric and say, what ethical perspective is this? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, alright.
Okay? 5 questions, that's all. Gonna see a couple of your questions just to see how it's
Sure
going?
thing, check it out, Alan.
Dylan's handwriting. I'm reading it upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, together you guys are like pile of grit.
Yeah.
I like this, yeah, that's good. That's good.
I like mine's term.
Yeah, this character was over here.
What about like, what is this? Tragedy?
Exhausted. Okay. Good, good.
Let's see, what else? Let's do some others. How about?
Little questions here. And so you're gonna write the answer.
The Easter Island question.
You need to get a pair of scissors.
Why is Easter Island an example of? How
Yeah.
carrying
Can I write these on
capacity
note cards
time.
and hand in because I don't want to rip my page out?
I have some pages right here.
Like, talk about
You can rip these into quarters, fold, don't use it here.
Oh.
Do like this.
No, like what
You
was
just
the root cause?
fold this, 4 times, you got 4 questions there.
Yeah.
Go into. Got more here if you want to.
Hippo is not gonna be on this, right?
Well, it relates to Easter Island,
Yes.
so.
Well, like, where would we like end at?
Where would you end at?
Like, never mind.
That's you have a good question, John, you just gotta phrase it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out. Alright, so chapter 3 is not gonna be on there, so that's.
I'm gonna write just like what.
Yeah, chapter 3, we're still learning.
So, alright,
Chapter
so
3, we're
that's
still learning, yeah.
All of this stuff. Alright.
If you need scissors, I got a little pair of like surgical
Biophysical
scissors.
limits,
But
dependent,
tearing them is probably gonna be better.
paradigm shift. Is it gonna be like heavy on the vocab, like what?
Most likely, and that, I mean, right now, that's where we are. I mean, what processes do we learn from? I mean, we don't really learn any processes.
Yeah, not really.
Question on like
We mainly learned terms, and, I mean, one process was strategy concept.
this
And Easter
Sorry,
Island.
sorry.
Easter Island's a concept we learned, I think.
school of thought is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna have something on there about Easter Island, so that's a larger,
So like on the back of this page, and I write the answer.
Do you want to write one thing or write another? Hard to read.
No, wait, that's right.
Inter,
Yeah.
so, there's equal access to resources. So that would be like,
so, if you're looking for questions, one of the things where I pull my questions from is from this,
certain
these
amount.
statements here that say,
Yeah.
this is what you need
Where
to
we use
know.
like renewable
So
resources.
ecological
Yeah.
footprint,
What is it called, the paradigm shift? Wait, if we need examples
Or
of
say like
questions, what?
instead of logging the.
Go into
entire
these
quarter,
you must
log
know
a quarter of the
pages in the
quarter.
topics page, this is kind of what is guiding us for what we need to know for each unit.
Fifth question is what's.
So like, if you read over this and you feel comfortable with it, you're probably gonna do well on the test. Sustainable development is probably a concept we learned too.
Oh, I'm gonna do example of intergenerational. Alan,
I have a very terrible pair of scissors.
how much do we have to know about like the actual scientists?
You have four cards.
Actual scientists.
Like, who, like,
Ignore.
Rex Tabor.
So that would be.
Oh, I'm not gonna
like-
ask you any of those, cause you learned about one specific person. It's mainly about the ethics, there are
Yeah,
examples of
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So I want you to know about those
It's
ethics
like,
more.
like our
People that come up with the school
access
of
to
thought.
resources.
Or no shit.
Well, give me an example of somebody who's come over to the school of thought.
Like,
Garrett
Thoreau
Hardin?
Whitman.
Who?
Thoreau Whitman.
Thoreau Whitman. Yeah, they're probably important to
An
know.
example of an exhaustive
Thoreau,
natural resource,
Whitman,
say.
John Muir, Teddy Roosevelt. They're good examples. Aldo Leopold.
Yeah, but it's an exhaustive.
They're just
natural
historical
resource.
based.
Okay, I see.
Well, you're
It's
gonna, are you
natural,
gonna
but
show
you,
these
like,
on
They're
the?
like boiled.
Yeah, so
Like you'll.
Can I do a
show
test?
these
And exhaustive.
yeah, let me just see if it works.
Before
So,
the back, boiled
here's
goes away.
So this is how I'm hoping to do
Yeah, no,
this.
so it's inexhaustible. Wait.
If I'm a
It was
camera,
exhaustible, and then
Okay,
you
well,
can run
I
out of
can't
it.
promise
Maybe
that
you
everything's
exhaust the
spelled
resource.
right.
that's okay.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not-
exhaustive or renewable natural resources are like
for that.
fresh water,
Where's my
forest
camera?
products and soil. But inexhaustible renewable
No, what
natural
am I
resources are like solar, wind, and like water energy. The non-renewable natural resources like oil, coal.
Exhaustible, renewable.
Is that spelled
See,
right?
does that look right?
Is that
So
spelled
that'd be a
right?
question, right?
Tragedy, is that spelled right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Wow. Good job.
Yeah, we got it.
Meantime, there we go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right, how we doing? We're almost there?
Yeah, we're getting.
If you've got questions that are done, you can start turning them into me, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eliminate repeats. Eliminate repeats. I'm not gonna tell you if there's repeats. If we all have the same 5 questions, then we really, there's our, can I take this one? Wait, let's,
So that would just be like me, could be, like we could theoretically just roll it.
Yeah.
Like a 4, yeah, so we'll 4.
you can put them in a better container, maybe get M&Ms together.
Oh no, you can read it through. Mine's flat. Mine is not. Mine is
Sir.
I'll just edit it down.
You cut them,
Oh.
cut them free, you need to,
We got
how
it.
those scissors work, not at all.
How are we gonna do that? We didn't answer on that.
I don't know.
Wait, I guess you could cut, can you
I
do
mean,
like the
I-
seam?
I don't, I think I,
You try this?
Is deep ecology
I was
gonna
like,
be
it's
up
like
there?
air.
Is who?
Deep ecology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that again?
Deep ecology could be on there.
What's,
Do we
what
even
is
know
it?
that if I arm names?
I know,
No,
I'm bad with the names.
don't worry about the name for that guy, I just wanna read these. really.
Ecology. Mm.
How do you color code your filters?
Oh, that's how I've been wanting to. Should I tell you all these questions and answers?
You have to, you right click.
Ooh, I like that question.
But you answered.
No, I didn't.
You're actually so weird.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't.
So it should make sense.
Right?
Okay, I can even
No,
write that.
only one repeat so far, whoops.
No, you can.
Whoops. There we go. I'm up there. All right, we're almost there, people, this is great, gonna start looking at some questions.
Why is it working?
I know.
I do it on my computer. Or if you go like this, if you like.
Okay, so this is a boat, is that what a boat, not a board? Boat?
So, yeah, sure.
The inherent worth of
Just
it.
gonna-
Alan, what would deep ecology be again?
Check your notes.
That's the issue, Alan.
Yeah, that is it.
You don't take notes?
Nah, I just don't have deep ecology.
What is this?
Was that chapter 1 or chapter 2?
Yeah, it's from notes from me. There's notes on the board.
Yeah,
What's that?
what chapter was that?
It's mentioned in the, it would be in ethics, but it's not,
Oh, okay.
it's not really profiled in there well.
What-
I picked it up just because I learned about it in college, and I think it's an interesting twist, and that it sets up the activity of around the animals.
See if I can find
What
Yeah.
slide is the you need to know thing?
It's right and open it, oh, go to the next slide.
I'll do that.
In this one, we didn't talk a lot about economics, so I'm not gonna ask you much about economics.
So
We'll get into it eventually, it'll happen. Yes.
It's just, this is chapter 1 here, and
Mhm.
this is chapter 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the notes are in there. So this you need to know.
Mm.
Amazing, the notes are usually right underneath it.
I want to do this thing,
Here.
oh, it's a PDF.
And there's a question at the end of it.
Fellowship
Oh, they're
certificate,
review
this
questions.
saves my
How
computer.
helpful.
What's that? Save it to your computer?
Like the other one you had in pages, so I.
Oh, this PDF you can save, and then,
How do I save the PDF?
you open it up, and then you can press save.
Alan, no, I'm done.
Yeah, download, yeah.
Do you want a copy of this?
It does,
Or you can do
Oh, okay. Good question. This one? Oh, nice.
Click, answers for these questions.
This isn't gonna be on the, it's not gonna be on this test. Oh, but maybe for HIPAA? No, it's, yeah. Maybe I should have you guys write my test. Jeez.
Yeah, please.
Actually, a lot of these are very similar questions.